It's a Thursday sports algorithm podcast. I can't stop doing this. You're right. I can't stop doing this. I want to get my YouTube channel monetized. I want to do it again. I'm just going to keep doing videos. You may end up getting baseball out of me for a little while just to get there. Honestly, for those that want it, I do. I want to keep doing videos, even though I don't want to do this all the time. So this tug of war is creating videos, at least creating podcasts. So let's talk about Thursday. There's a ton of games in college basketball. There's a big schedule for hockey also, right here. And there's not as big of a schedule for NBA. So let's start there. I did finally update NBA first time in a while. Some things that pop up here are injury to Memphis is going to make it tough, but they do have a good line. Bad line for the Pacers. Here's a good line for a game that might win, which is the Jazz and the Magic. Plus 130. They're healthier and they would win anyway, according to our distribution here at number 62 combination distribution string that we're using. So the Jazz look like a decent pick. Then you got a really injured Detroit, so the Hornets should beat them. That's a reasonable line. Terrible line down here, but the Nets are really missing people. And the Knicks are an underdog here that could potentially win this game against Sacramento. So Jazz, Hornets, and Knicks look like possibles for NBA, especially the Jazz and the Hornets kind of popping up there. All right, so that's NBA. Now let's do hockey. Don't know what the goaltenders are actually going to be, so we'll blow through this kind of quick. The just Minnesota won last night. So of the two other underdogs did not win today on Wednesday. Yep. So it's weird. It looks like it's off, but it's really I told you to play the underdog. Whatever. Don't listen to me. All right, so let's go into today's games. Though number one pick Carolina, bad line. Number two pick Boston, of course. Reasonable line because they're going up against Edmonton, sort of reasonable. Does have them as a number two pick. Number three, Jersey over Washington. Yeah, I feel bad about my Caps. Number four, Rangers over Montreal. Bad line. Number five is Dallas over Buffalo. Always pay attention to the actual goaltending matchups. So number six, Nashville over Arizona. Lines are starting to get more reasonable. Number seven, underdog Vegas over Tampa Bay. So there an underdog pops up. Close game by adjusted power, but says that Vegas is playing much better than Tampa Bay and can do it, even in Tampa Bay. And then number eight, Pittsburgh. Number nine, St. Louis over San Jose in a game against bad teams with bad goalies where it thinks there's going to be goals. Number 10, Colorado and LA, super close game all around there, actually. It says barely go with Colorado, but the line doesn't really agree with that LA could win that game. And 11 and 12, another close game. Although it does say Seattle beats Ottawa, even though Ottawa had been playing well except for a game against Chicago just recently. So that's the big look for NBA. Looks like, 11 games, right? It's a lot of games. Now, let's hit this huge college basketball slate. So you've got a ton of games, and I'm sure a lot of these are tournament games. We're not going to dig through it, but we want to sort, like we have a way that we sort this thing and what we filter for to give us our picks. So let's just do that rather than try to go through every single game. Okay. Means we don't take a team with less than 90% health. So the health of the team's got to be 0.899 or greater. All right. We also, most of these are home teams anyway. We also now what we want to do is we want to sort by line value. Sending by line value, which is right here. And it's going to show up at the top, the list is going to be teams that have the best line value. There are actually a lot of line value games. Amazing. There's 29 line value games. Let's see why that is and what's happening here. So we've got North Carolina a little bit on the road against Virginia, but they are a little bit injured and the margins are really close. So that is a toss-up game. It's not really a great pick because the margin's so low. Here we have one, Sam Houston State, better strength of schedule, only minus 230 where we think they'd be 417. So Sam Houston State is a good one. Quinnipiac, similar situation, big margin, line's not as bad as it should be. Creighton, similar situation. Let's see, these margins up here are pretty good. These are all over 10% margins, and all these teams are home. There's a reason to take all these teams up here. It really is all the way down, all the way. You got Utah State's a little injured against New Mexico, more so, maybe not, right? Boy, there are a lot of things to choose from. You can see all these very decent lines. Well, your margins start to get lower down here, but when you see things pop up like this, like Texas over Oklahoma State when they're healthy, that's a good one. So these are really where to focus. You see a lot of home teams there, reasonable lines. There's a chunk of 16 or 17 games there where you're probably going to do something pretty good, like 14-2 or 13-3 or something. So there are some 5-16 round robins to throw together where you might hit all of them in games like this. So especially the higher margin games. All right, so that is the look for Thursday. I'm gonna keep chugging away doing videos, even though I say I might not. I wake up and I'm like, all right, I should do this because I know people. This is the content that people generally do want to see when I get this video up the day before, the night before the day. It'll get more views. So subscribe, tell people, get moving. The closer I get to monetization, the happier I will be and the more content you'll get. That's kind of the way it works. All right. Good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning.